Hello everyone, welcome back to another Baylor esports fight. Here we are in Overwatch against Ohio State esports, and here I am with my good commentator friend Beta24. Jacob, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Oscar?
I am looking forward to this matchup personally. Finally, I was hoping it would be Tuesday, but it had to be rescheduled, of course, and right now, here we go. This is the match that we've been waiting for all week. Hopefully we do good. What do you think is going to happen tonight?
Now, I haven't seen Baylor or OSU play, so I can't put any good predictions out there. I'm hoping to see some good fun come out though. So, how about you?
Well, as always, I mean, the basis of esports is to have fun, and honestly, as long as we can get the momentum of, okay, we're in this new conference, we have to move together, we have to learn how things work, and as soon as we can get that going, I feel like as long as we just have enough time to feel good, we're good. So that's what I'm hoping for. It's just that our players feel good, no matter what the outcome is, to have fun, but to learn about the process. And that's what I'm hoping for this gameplay. So hopefully soon enough, we'll see what's going to happen.
All right. Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm excited to see how things work out. I watched your cast a little bit for the games against TCU. So
I will say they were very fun games, especially since the whole process of that was to recreate the rivalry in an esports setting. And now that we have accomplished that, hopefully it can become more of a semester thing. But we'll see as time will tell. Alright, here we landed in Samoa. Our teams are getting ready. And we should be able to get player cams starting now.
Ah, there we go. Yeah.
There we go.
Listened to your album the other day.
Oh, did you like it?
Not sure there was enough bass. I could almost hear.
You know, Samoa, I think, was a pretty late entry into the Overwatch map rotation, and of course it goes with the character introduction of Mauga, who I personally like as a tank, but can be real annoying to play against. What do you think, Jacob?
I personally haven't played too much against him. I've heard a lot about him being super annoying. However, most of the time it's kind of just been because I'm at lower levels of play. He doesn't really end up being super annoying to me.
Alright,
but I could.
confrontations that were going on right now. Sorry to cut you off, but it looks
you're
like
good.
they have point at least for now. The team is spread all over the place, but as long as we can regroup, we can retake this battlefield. Now, as you were saying, Jacob, about your confrontations with Maga. Oh, here we go down. Unfortunate.
Nice. Yeah, kind of a lot of fighting coming out early. They have control of the point and they're pushing Baylor back towards spawn, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is the beginning of the match. This doesn't have to determine what the outcome will be. But, you know, it's always to think that, okay, that team fight happened. What can we learn from it? And how can we regroup effectively in order to overcome them? And here's what we're trying to do. Tank going in for a Lucio. Can he get the last shots? It's unfortunate he can't. And 2 of our DPS have been eliminated. This just leaves supports and tank. Supports get eliminated. Tank is trying to do a fight here, but he's not able to overcome anything.
Now the whole team is back up and coming out of spawn.
Regroup. Always wait for tank to come along with you, because it's never a good idea to start your team fights early without your tank. You will always more than likely get eliminated.
Definitely, and I think, I don't know if it was because there was some pressure relieved or something, but Baylor was actually able to get pretty close to site. So if there's some kills that we can get, then we can take this site back.
That is true, but unfortunately our team just gets wiped again. This is a team kill for Ohio State Esports.
Absolutely, yeah.
The question of getting to point is now just a matter of time, and as long as we get kept up here in spawn, it is not looking likely. This game, or rather this first point, will go to Ohio State Esports. Oh,
yep, with
mind.
the overtime hitting, we're looking for a touch, and we've got one. We've got a couple people on the site now.
It's just tank, but you can't overpower that. This a good intended ult has a tank, but he is not able to reach the point, and this point goes to Ohio State Esports.
Yes.
Score 1-0.
Alright, unfortunate outcome, but there is another point that we could potentially get, and then, if possible, then that would go to the last point. But, do you see any mistakes that may have hurt our team here against their fights?
I can't really tell. From what I can tell, it seemed like it was just a damage output thing. They just were able to kill us a lot faster than we could kill them. I don't know if that was because of mistakes or if that was just like abilities not hitting or something like that. How about you?
Well, as always, I always tend to say team fights are more a communication issue than they are actual skills in the game. So I'm willing to bet that this is mainly a communication error on and unable to focus on who to target. Meanwhile, Ohio State Esports has the capacity to communicate with each other and effectively target who they want to, leading to easy team pickings and just complete wipeouts.
Yeah, and I will also say that Ohio State's healing seems to be coming down really, really quickly. Whenever there's someone who goes low, they pretty much are instantly raised back up, either by picking up a pack or being healed by their supports. With that being said, there's kills going down on both sides now.
It looks like only our tracers on point, and this is just gonna have to go out. Ooh, this Ohio State Esports team, I do know that in the Power Esports Conference, they were able to do pretty good matchups against the rest of the teams. But, you know, you may never know. I mean, to be fair, this is the first game of the series, so you never know what could potentially happen down the line. Maybe they make their own mistakes. or it's just not a day for them. But clearly, we're seeing something else. Despite the fact that we might get some pickings, it just looks like we get eliminated each and every single time.
Absolutely, and it seemed like it was just a surgical separation of the team, picking off people and separating them out and then killing them over and over again until they killed enough people that the whole team had to fall back.
Of course. As always, the idea is to create a kill box, and an easy one after that, just so that you can get easy pickings, and it all just matters on how... Ooh, okay, this is just really good use of ults. I just had to stop talking there.
Yeah.
Wow. Well...
And once again, the site is, getting to the point where we're going to have to get some touches on there, and we're stuck in base.
Oh, it's a nice throw for the knife by the Junker Queen towards the Tracer. Hopefully that we can make something up of it. We got the touch, but do we have the ability to continue this team fight? There goes one of our DPSs, there goes one of our supports. Tank, DPS, and one other support is available, but I don't think we can make it through. It's just a Tracer now.
Yeah, and with that kill coming in, that's the second point of the game.
And there you have it. For the first game, Ohio State Esports wins.
Play of the game.
Now, with the first map or game over, what do you think can be taken into the second map?
Well, of course, as with Power Esports' rules regarding Overwatch, they do have the right to ban, I think, one character. So I think the first thing that should be commented on is who is the character that should be regarded as number one priority to ban. From there, I believe then just make sure you know what your mistakes are, how to correct them, and correctly execute your next fights in order to win your games. And it looks like we are going to go to King's Row, and our ban will be once they get that figured out. But I will say, King's Row, it was one of the first maps ever added to Overwatch, and it had a lot of lore significance since it was one of the first cinematics regarding Tracer and Widowmaker. If any of our fellow members are watching, that was a hit and assassination made by Widowmaker against one of the pacifist robots within the game's lore, and it had a pretty big impact on the Omnic community. So this map holds a lot in regards to the lore of the game, but it also holds a lot of spectacular moments in different esports matches throughout the Overwatch League, Collegiate, and others. And it looks like we are banning Lucio, and they are banning Tracer. So this is going to be interesting. When I was thinking from this matchup, who should you ban? I was thinking maybe the tank, considering he was able to get PC pickings, but the way they might be thinking this could technically just be a communication issue, and the tank wasn't the main problem. But I mean, there are some supports where they can be problems, especially if they have high mobility. So what do you think, Jacob?
I mean, with the Lucio ban, you are getting rid of both the one of the supports that both teams ran. I think with the idea of getting rid of one of their supports, you're maybe actually defeating their like oppressiveness of their tank, because you can just kind of he may not be able to heal as well with another support. So I think that's the hope. And then of course with the strength and power of the Lucio, they can also just kind of make it a little bit less oppressive so that they can't be cut off from the rest of the team and they can stick to each other a lot easier.
Yeah, that sounds like a decent argument. Okay. For anyone watching, you don't freak out. Your TV is not messing up. Your computer is alright. We just had to restart the game. Apparently there was a lobby issue with banning the actual character of Lucio. But I think we should be good to go now. I was weirded out until they said in the
me
chat,
as well.
oh, we forgot to ban Lucio. Oh, okay. Alright.
So looks like from Baylor's side, we've got the Lucio being replaced by the is his name Wu Lang?
Wu Yang, yeah.
Wu Yang.
Yes, Wu Yang is one of the newer characters to be introduced into Overwatch. Has a very interesting story. If I remember correctly, there are 4 colleges, and his sister got into the fire college, but he was the outsider because his whole family's all in the fire college, but he specifically got into the water college. But he was able to show that just because he got into a different college doesn't mean that he can't be great, and he is now in the Overwatch roster. Here we go with the first team fight, and it looks pretty calm for now. We do have a bit of a confrontation here with Pharah and Mercy that are trying to get a head start into elimination, but I don't know if they'll be effective to do so. Oh, unfortunate miss. We could have gotten an easy picking with a Mercy, but we just weren't hitting our shots correctly, and it just looks like we get overrun, especially by that Doomfist who keeps going in aggressively. What do you think, Jacob? What do you think is going on right now? Do you think it's a priority, or do you think it's an issue of just simply being outclassed?
I do think it is a priority thing at the current moment. I think we're putting a lot of damage down onto people who are getting healed too quickly, and we're not really separating them out. And I think you can see that now from the D.Va going pretty much straight into their team with nobody backing her up.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, but from our end over closer to the spawn, there was a Mercy and a Pharah just pushing up a lot, and now, sure, that could just be an overconfident Pharah trying to target the team. But what I would think to say is maybe this serves more as a distraction in a manner that, again, it distracts most of our players to target them and the D.Va alone with the rest of the team. Alright, here we go with the first Kitchener rush for Baylor University, and it looks like it's being put to good use, but we don't see any killings from it. Now, unfortunately, Tank, I feel like, was the only one putting in most of the damage there. And the problem, again, is the fact that the Mercy keeps over-healing that Pharah, so there's no real way to eliminate either character. I have to apologize for that, I pressed the wrong button. Doomfist behind our line.
Yeah, Doomfist is able to take out 2.
It's never a good sign when your tank decides to retreat. And the DPS Mercy trailing to the tank, trying to see if she can get the final blow, but oh, don't you just hate it when you have that moment when you're desperate, you are trying to retreat, and you just see a flying German nurse flying at you with a handgun. You are scared of, hey, that Pharah ult was weirdly placed, but it was effectively placed because it did have one ult kill. But here we go again with this Doomfist just standing onto our back line. What are we supposed to be doing here?
Yeah.
This is just unfortunate, but let's see what our tank's up to. This Doomfist again keeps going. Of course. Every time you see a Doomfist that overextends, it's not the fact that he is, well, it could be the fact that he might just be overconfident in himself, but it's always the fact that he has his ult ready and can immediately evacuate at any time. And an unfortunate suicide by our tank, who decided to just fall off a ledge there. I'm sure it's not his fault, but again, we cannot be making those kinds of mistakes during these important gameplay moments.
Absolutely. Now trying to get touches on the payload once again, but not enough.
So this is
Now.
unfortunate. Like, you were able to get through all 3 points, and not only that, but you remain with 3 minutes and 58 seconds of overtime left.
Initiating
So at this point, the only way you can truly contend with that is two ways. One, you replicate the same momentum that the enemy team had, and you're able to get through all 3 points with the same amount of time left, or you just have to fight it through, remain in overtime for the longest temptation of times. Like, it's gonna be insane if Baylor can pull it off, but I don't know. Those kinds of situations are really hard to come by.
ready for battle.
Now we are
Absolutely.
On the ooh, my bad, but just to clarify, now we are on the attacking side. Hopefully their defense isn't as good as their offense was, but we'll see what happens. Maybe some character modifications here and there, maybe some different communication. You could potentially turn the tide of this, but we'll just have to see what our team does.
Seeming to opt into attacking with the Winston and Ana instead of the Diva and Kiriko.
Ooh, okay. Just from Winston's POV, you could have already seen the sonar arrow coming out. This means that they definitely have a Hanzo. And honestly, on this map, Hanzo could be a very big liability. A lot of open space and a lot of time for arrows to reach, but still, arrows can be menacing. And Hanzo is just one of the worst characters to deal with. It's either Hanzo or Widowmaker, which are the troublemakers on this map. But as long as we can target effectively, we should be able to win this. And keep on getting overrun. Winston might have just dove in a sense where he just left the team alone, being able to... Sure, maybe he was able to distract some players, but it just ended up being the death of our team, so... Now that we've regrouped again, here we go for another match.
It does seem that the Winston keeps trying to dive as deep into the enemy team as possible, maybe trying to get out those picks and distract the team. However, OSU isn't taking the bait. They're just, trying to avoid the damage coming down from the Winston while killing the rest of the team.
Here we go. It looked like we were ready to get 2 picks. Now, it's possible to get another pick. Here we go. Now, it's just necessarily the Doomfist that's the problem, but why is our Winston going for the Kiriko? Doomfist was able to get the remaining DPSs, so... It's just the support and the Winston together. That Wuyang might just be being over... No, but it looks like he was able to recuperate himself.
Yeah, the Winston opting to sit on site and potentially continue to capture it even when the Doomfist is on our line. Having to finally back up now.
Now that the team's regrouped, it looked like, well, that's unfortunate. One of our supports just got eliminated off the bat, but we could be able to push into this. It looks like our Winston just keeps getting harassed no matter what he does.
Yes, definitely getting harassed, and the Doomfist coming in to give the final blow.
This Ana has very possible chances of surviving. Oh, well. That sonar arrow just gave her location away, and as soon as the Kiriko saw that, she just went in and dove. Which, as there is a joke in the community, even though she is supposed to be a support player, most people play her as a DPS because she can, with her kunai shots, I mean, any effective headshot, boom, you just get her automatically. Even though we did eliminate the Doomfist, it looks like the Mercy was able to res.
Now Winston's ult coming out, but he's just getting too low.
Oh,
Swapping to Roadhog.
interesting choice here. I wonder if what he's trying to do now is the fact that if you hook anyone that's, I think if I'm not wrong, below 200 HP, it is just one simple shot. Able to get the Doomfist, maybe we can be able to push this through and catch point.
I think that's the hope here. The whole team seeming to still be a little bit behind him.
Ooh, looks like Ana gets eliminated. How is the Kiriko still alive? It should be easy thinking for BTS, but
Justice reigns from above.
Managing to get really close to capping point, and they got it.
Escort the payload.
might have been an interesting tactic. You know what? I will say, the fact that what Roadhog did about hucking the Doomfist while Farah did her ult, it was pretty genius because it made him, the Doomfist, let go of his block, which effectively left him vulnerable to any attack whatsoever. So that was a good pair of skills, I will say. The question is if we can get past the first choke point. This is one of the harder choke points, I'm pretty sure, to ever come across. I mean, even when our teams just play, whether that's competitive or casual, it is one of the parts where people get mixed up on. Okay, an effective Leon ult. We could be getting some picks here. That Ashe can... is so low. Will that be the ult that can kill him? That's...
Now the DPS coming out from Casta being able to pick off a couple people, dealing a lot of damage, but going down to the Doomfist.
Well, this is an unfortunate sight to see, but we have 1 minute remaining, and we are technically halfway there, so it should be able, in the sense, to just prioritize the support players, then go to tank or DPS, whichever's troubling us most, and we should be able to win this. Casta's once again eliminated, but our tank does solo ult the Doomfist.
It does seem that they're just able to keep us in our spawn. They're just sitting around watching our spawn, and we're not able to push out of it.
And it looks like our Roadhog is oblivious to the Doomfist, but I can understand why. He feels the necessity to get to the support players, so he feels like that confrontation is necessary. And will he outlive this Doomfist? I don't know. The bigger priority is to see if you can get a touch on the cart, and it doesn't look like
it's not able.
to. And there's another victory for Ohio State Esports.
Play of the game.
You know, there's some highlight intros where they show the personality of the character, but I don't know, Doomfist just really likes disco, I guess. Well, that's another victory for Ohio State Esports. What are your thoughts on this, Jacob?
I think we need to take a little bit of time, rethink through a couple strategy things, and come back at it with, relatively level heads. Maybe even taking like a bathroom break or something, because I feel like at least after capping the point, the morale, you could see it just kind of went down on the team.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I know there's some people that would be watching this, whether that be already here within the Baylor Esports program or from families and everything, especially the families. They would be thinking, well, you're just hitting buttons, right? What is there more to do? But yeah, these games require a lot more strategizing, a lot more communication, and multiple different things. So even morale, as some people may think it's useless, does impact a lot of our players. So as long as that thought of we cannot compete against this team already starts to infiltrate them, yeah, maybe it is unfortunate, but I will say you can kiss that win goodbye. It looks like we are now choosing the map Esperanza, and we are banning Wrecking Ball. Now, I will say, Wrecking Ball, for those of you that don't know, is a hamster within a mechanized robot that has miniguns and is highly mobile. And while I will say it isn't the hardest character to eliminate, it is more bothersome than most. Again, the high mobility. The fact that I prefer to call him a troll character instead of a dive character because that's all he does. He just distracts the team from hitting the supports or the DPS, and it's just a bothersome character to work with. You did mention, Jacob, that you did watch some of the stream from the revival rebattle between Baylor and TCU.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard from my section, but the TCU commentators, they did have someone wearing the Wrecking Ball hoodie, which, or it's not a hoodie. It's
a whole onesie.
A whole onesie, that is correct. And personally, I just want to say, amazing dedication that you love a character so much that you wear their onesies, but I just hate ball players, man. Alright, here we go. Entering game number 3, Esperanza. If Ohio State University wins this game, it is over for Baylor. But this is a push game. Usually, if I remember correctly, there are about 7 to 8 minutes total of length, so this could be a longer match than most, but we'll see how this goes. On this side, It doesn't matter what color you are both with the same objective. Try to push the robot to the other side of the map. If you do that, you take the W. So we'll just have to see what kind of off angles we take, how our communication stands like,
Ready for battle.
and we'll see what happens.
Yes, and I want to note how interesting it is that we see the Ball and the Zenyatta ban come out for this map. I think it speaks to the power of those two characters on this map specifically, since both teams have not played Ball or Zenyatta yet.
That is true. And you're a little biased yourself because I know that you love playing Zenyatta, so...
Yes. Now, I am seeing Foxy on Lucio. Does the bans not carry over?
The bans only occur every match, so once you pick a map and once you pick those bans, those bans are only available for that map. They reset, so again, those characters that were previously banned are now available to play, but the new round of bans took place already, so that means Zenyatta and who was the second character that was banned, if you can remind me?
Ball.
Ball? Yeah, they are now banned.
Interesting. So they allowed access back to Lucio and I can't remember who the other ban was from last game.
It was...
In order to get rid of the Ball.
Ooh, it was Lucio and... Yikes! We are not doing a good job remembering who was banned.
Let's see.
That is
Tracer. Lucio and Tracer.
Ahead of us. We need to make up ground.
We'll just have to see how this goes, but an interesting choice from Maga. Again, we did talk about him earlier, that he was a very interesting character, I mean, from Samoa. Very interesting lore-wise, considering he has 2 hearts. I don't know how that works on Comic and I'm a pre-med student, so don't ask me about this. But we'll see how this competition goes. I mean, we are able to get a lot of health down from the Roadhog, but... And able
to kill the Roadhog, yeah.
Tracer versus Tracer, who is the better Tracer diff? And, well, she got kunai to the head, so I cannot safely say who was the better Tracer, but we'll just be biased and say it was ours. And Maga got stuck by Tracer's time bomb, and it looks like OSU was able to get to the first point. Okay.
However, I want to point out that this has been a much better defense from the side of Baylor this game as the last one.
I mean, yeah, that is true. We were able to get a better few picks. And not just so much that we were able to get picks, but the fact that we were able to get more picks than the previous game. So hopefully we can continue that momentum and be able to turn this tide around. Kiriko Suzu, which does not help her defend herself against Safara, but looks like our Maga will have to retreat. Then, even then...
Our Maga chasing us, yeah.
Looks like this Tracer is very low on health and has a recall, but she's only there to try to have a bot there, but she does have to get eliminated, unfortunately. And now we're, again, being held at spawn, so... It's just unfortunate the fact that this is how our gameplay is looking, but... Oh. Now, we do technically have 2 ults. We are prepared to have 2 more ults, so it could be that the title of this battle could be turned, and here we go. A Maga ult, it's just a Maga versus Maga, and unfortunately, our Maga loses, and the rest of the team is also eliminated. I know that I said that it would just be a longer game, but it looks like they are trying to body block and ult block every entrance that we have. It's not effective as it seems, and we were able to get a few picks. It looks like we might turn the tide of the battle here.
Yeah, the Doomfist damage coming out really well, being able to dive into the back of the team and lay down some kills, getting a team kill and taking control of the bot.
And here we go, we have to move up, especially because they still have the spawn of the forward spawn rate, so they will have an advantage in coming into the team fight. Tracer's already eliminated. Our Pharah is looking like she will get eliminated herself. Tank is also eliminated. A third support is eliminated. It's just our Lucio, and looks like, where is our Lucio? There he is. He is fighting
He's on the
life.
robot, yes.
It's gonna be a Lucio versus Lucio, but well, good luck to him. As long as our main team can regroup and he is able to get back into the main trade, then it'll be good.
Oh,
That
the Lucio versus Lucio fight getting third-partied.
that is unfortunate. But I mean,
Very.
I don't want to say it was a good thing that it happened, but they did use one ult that they could have used at a later fight. So I don't know, maybe management-wise they weren't doing good with their resources.
That is true. And then getting to take back control of the robot, being able to push it back just a little bit, buying more time in this game 3.
And while our tank goes against those enemy combatants, we are pushing robot here just quite nicely.
Enemy forward spawn room deactivated.
And this is finally
Yes.
our first push in a while. Tracer, please don't get eliminated by Manga, please, I swear. Looks like she's doing fine though, as long as she can find cover for herself. I mean, those
Now
are
we
the-
did get a slight push of 8 meters. However, we're gonna need to see a lot more of that coming out. Taking back control of the robot and potentially getting a kill onto the Mauga, and it comes through.
It looks like the Tracer Bomb was ineffective, considering that Doomfist was not only guarding himself, but, you know, I would prefer you not to Tracer Bomb a tank. Their literal role is to sustain as much damage as possible, so maybe that was a bad placement by the enemy Tracer. Come on, charge that. Okay, well, I was hoping that the Marvel would charge.
A lot of damage coming onto the enemy Mauga, potentially being able to push them back and continuing to get more pushing on the robot. Baylor might actually be back in this game again.
Let's hope so, or else, well, probably feel sad about it. But as always, we're going to regroup. Ooh, nice stocks, nice Lucio beat. This should be easy killings for everyone. There we go.
A lot of damage coming through. Our Tracer laying it down very well. And now there's only one OSU player still left on the point.
Lucio v Lucio again? No, it looks like our Lucio is more prone to healing our teammates, which, I mean, is better in the sense that a support player is doing the support role. But,
Yeah,
you know, it would have been funny to see a Lucio be Lucio again.
very true.
Ooh, okay. This is unfortunate. Our Doomfist doesn't have any healing, and with that, he is eliminated. Can our Tracer make it in time?
Tracer just kind of touching to hold the bot for a little bit. Now, going down.
Clara, don't go back into the team fight. You're at 70 HP.
We got a decent push. Now, getting more pushing onto the bot. Got that forward spawn, so our players are coming in faster. Mauga very, very low. With a little bit more damage, is going to go down.
Okay, looks like we're able to push it. I mean, as you saw before, at the beginning of the round, even though it looked like it was just going to be a win for Ohio State, we were able to push them back, and while I won't say we've turned the tide exponentially, we are making progress in that. So, you don't know, maybe we'll be able to match their 139 meters.
Yeah. Now they're taking back control of the bot. Hopefully we can get them, or get that bot back into our control before they take away our forward spawn. Unfortunately, not able to do it.
And with that, with the robot going back into the middle of the map, the forward spawn is lost to Baylor. So now they're, again, neutral in the sense that I scratched that actually because they pushed on to the second point on our side. That means that the enemy team has a forward spawn already ready. So we are fighting at a disadvantage here. The enemy team is gaining quickly, and they are about to be on the 4 meters that are left to push the robot. Will we be able to effectively defend ourselves and disallow their push? Maybe with
Our tank did swap back to Roadhog.
Ooh, nice shot.
Getting a pick onto the Kiriko. And taking back control of the bot. If we can get rid of their forward spawn, then in these last 15 seconds, we might be able to easel out that win. It's going to take quite a bit of time. We're going to need to get some touches onto the bot and get back pushing it.
Ooh, that soldier has visor, and that is not a good sign. There's too much open space around the robot, so it's going to be easy killing. And we have to remain on the robot. If not, we will lose this game.
The touch is just not able to come in.
That is unfortunate, but we tried our hardest. We are newcomers in this conference, so we shouldn't be so sad at the fact that we have been losing progressively, at least with the Overwatch team. What I want to say is this. Sure, most people would look at our standings and be, okay, this is probably not in our best sense that Baylor will be a strong power within Power Esports. But we are newcomers. We are learning how to compete competitively within these institutions. So what I will say from this is that even though it was a quick elimination, I want to say that we are actively learning every situation and every team fight. So despite this outcome, it only prepares us even further for the next time. Any closing thoughts, Jacob, before we go?
Well, yeah, I definitely agree with what you said, and I think it even shows in this series, because that last game, being able to take such control over the bot for even the period of time that we did, it showed just such a great amount of learning between the first 2 games and that third one. And I think if we can keep seeing that, then there may be a time where we can take control and be a very strong power in this conference.
That's right. But, well, that was a 3-0 victory for Ohio State Esports, and Baylor unfortunately didn't win anything. But hopefully throughout the week we have 2 more matchups, I believe. It should be the University of Houston next week, if I'm not wrong. So, or Utah. I need to remember the schedule. But the schedule will be on the end stream card for us. So thank you all Baylor family for joining us on the Overwatch night, and May God bless you. May God bless your homes. And thank you for watching with us. We'll see you then. Goodbye.